we are going to be taking a look at my top 8 MVP candidates for the Detroit Lions in 2019. Alright, so in this video, we're going to be taking a look at my top 8 players that could potentially be the Detroit Lions MVP for 2019. Not necessarily an MVP of the league. Now, I guess they could be, and that would be super awesome because I would love to see an MVP from the Detroit Lions. We haven't seen that in a while, and that'd be super awesome. But this is just for the Detroit Lions. Every single year, you know, we kind of try to look at, okay, who is the best player for the Detroit Lions? Who is their MVP? Last year, you can make the case that it was Kenny Golladay having to step in, playing a very big role. Kerryon Johnson kind of got hurt, so that really hurt his chances. But let's get into this list. We're going to be taking a look at the top 8 players that are MVP candidates for the Detroit Lions in 2019. And let's get it started. Coming in at number 8, we have our new rookie tight end, TJ Hockenson. Now, he comes in very low at this list because he is a rookie. So, I don't think they're going to try to put a lot on his shoulders. They have multiple tight ends that do a lot of good things. Jesse James is in there, as well as Logan Thomas. So, I don't think they're going to try to put a lot of pressure on a rookie. And I don't think they're going to, force it to him. But he is a very, very good rookie. He can do multiple things. He can block. He can catch. He's going to be a very big part of this offense. Even though they don't try to overwhelm him, he's still going to be a big part of this offense. That's why they took him at number 8. I would not be surprised if he was one of our best players 2019. And he comes in at number 8 for MVP candidacy. This man had 49 receptions last season with 760 yards and 6 touchdowns out of Iowa in his last season. And now with the Detroit Lions, we're expecting some really big numbers. And he took a big jump from 2017 to 2018 statistically. So hopefully with the Detroit Lions 2019, he can take an even bigger jump. But now, coming in at number 7, we have our middle linebacker, Jarrad Davis. And Jarrad Davis is really the cornerstone in my eyes of the Detroit Lions defense. You could say that guys like Snacks Harrison are, but I believe it is Jarrad Davis. I see him as like a coach defensively. Now, he has a lot of things to work on. He has been getting a lot better, his coverage ability. But this is a guy that makes tackles. Like, he will rack up his stats on tackles. Now, he hit 100 tackles last season, so congratulations, Jarrad Davis, after coming off a 96 tackle season. So he's been very consistent. A first-round pick out of Florida who had 5 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 6 sacks, 100 combined tackles, and 10 tackles for loss back in 2018. In 2019, he may take an even bigger jump with some guys to help him out, like Jelani Tavai, who's a new linebacker, and Devon Kennard. Those kind of guys can take a lot of pressure off of Jarrad Davis and let him play a little bit more freely and hopefully get even bigger numbers and hopefully lead to success. Next up, coming in at number 6, we have our safety, Quandre Diggs. And Quandre Diggs is going to take on a big role in 2019 as well as Tracy Walker. The last 2 seasons getting 3 interceptions each, so 6 interceptions in the last 2 seasons. He's definitely improved. He's going to take on an even bigger role in 2019, and I expect him to take the big jump. He's been getting better every single year. Coverage ability and tackling. He's a big hitter. I expect a lot of good things out of Quandre Diggs. He comes in at number 6. In 2018 and 17, he both had really good seasons. 2018 was 78 combined tackles, 3 interceptions, and 8 pass deflections. And in 2017, 55 combined tackles, 3 interceptions, and 9 pass deflections. He's very good statistically. He's been consistent over the last 2 seasons. Hopefully, we can see more of that in 2019. Now, coming in at number 5, this is a dark horse type of pick, and that is Darius Slay. Yes, Darius Slay is a kind of a dark horse because I know a lot of people don't really know how to feel about Darius Slay right now with the contract talks, and I think that's why he's a dark horse. If he stays with the Detroit Lions, he plays for the Detroit Lions, which I 100% believe he will for 2019, he may come out there and maybe he'll have his own chip on his shoulder. I'm not saying he should, but I'm saying he might, and he may play with that, like, I'm going to prove what I can do, and he may go off in 2019 like he did back in 2017. Now, he probably won't put up the same numbers because 2017, he was doing some ridiculous stuff, but he can still put up some really good numbers. Back in 2018, he had 43 combined tackles, 3 interceptions, and 17 pass deflections. And in 2017, when he was outstanding, 60 combined tackles, 8 interceptions, and 26 pass deflections. He was ridiculously good in 2017. Maybe not getting back to those numbers, but with some help, if the other cornerbacks can play well, then he'll have to throw Darius Slay's way because in the past, you just didn't throw it to Darius Slay. You had other options because usually Tease would let someone get by and Nevin Lawson would struggle. With that being said, if Rashawn Melvin, Tease Tabor, Justin Goldman can all do their jobs very well, it will take a lot of pressure off of Darius Slay and he can go make some plays, so he comes in at number 5. Now, coming into the top 4, we have Snacks Harrison. Snacks Harrison coming to the Detroit Lions last season. During the middle of the season, played really well, completely transformed our run defense. He had 50 combined tackles and 3.5 sacks last season, and he was ranked the number 3 defensive lineman in the NFL. With a 92 Pro Football Focus grade, he was outstanding, a 6'3", 353-pound linebacker, the best run stopper in the league by far. Snacks Harrison has a big impact on the Detroit Lions, and I would not be surprised if he had a big impact on the Lions in 2019, especially helping out some of those other guys, taking a lot of pressure off. He may not always have the biggest numbers, but you know his performance is really good on the field, and you can just look at the Pro Football Focus numbers to back that up. Next up, coming in at number 3, we're getting into the top ones now, and this is Matthew Stafford. After kind of a down year last season, there was a lot of problems with the Detroit Lions last season, but statistically, kind of a down year. Completion percentage was a little over 66%, 3,777 passing yards, as well as 21 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. Not very great ratio. Back in 2017, he actually had just under 66% completion rating. 4,446 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions, which was a big drop-off. Like, that's 700-yard drop-off. Now, the offense is going to be different. Don't expect him to put up any kind of crazy numbers, but I think that touchdown to interception ratio can be changed. I think that can be better than 21 to 11. Maybe get the interceptions in the single digits. Yeah, that doesn't really happen with Matthew Stafford, but he could keep the touchdowns in the 20s. I think that would be very nice. He could also improve that completion percentage with some nice safety blankets and Danny Amendola and our multiple new tight ends. Now, coming in at number 2, we have the wide receiver Kenny Golladay. Last season, 70 receptions, 1,063 receiving yards, 15.2 average, and 5 touchdowns. He was absolutely outstanding, taking over a big role with some injuries. He did his thing. This man played so hard. I had so many great memories watching Kenny Golladay, and now I want to see him improve again. He may not put up the same numbers because last season hitting that 1,000-yard mark was ridiculous, but he definitely could. I would not be surprised if he did again. He is that talented. He is a very, very big part of our offense, and like I said earlier in the video, you could make a case was the MVP for the Detroit Lions in 2018. And finally, coming in at number 1, the guy you've all been waiting for, Kerryon Johnson. 641 rushing yards, 5.4-yard average, and 3 touchdowns back in 2018. He was absolutely outstanding. If it wasn't for injuries, he would have definitely hit over 1,000 yards rushing. And in 2019, I think a lot of people expect that to happen. Hopefully he can do that. He's still a young player. He's only going into his 2nd season. He's got a lot of upside. He's going to be a great running back in the future for the Detroit Lions. He's also got some guys to take some pressure off him, like C.J. Anderson, Ty Johnson, Theo Riddick, Zach Center. Depending on who makes the team, he does have a lot of guys to take the pressure off him. The offensive line should be better. We also have some tight ends on the edge that can finally block D.J. Hockenson and Jesse James. So Kerryon Johnson being the focal point of our offense going into 2019 could have a huge season. Those are my top 8 MVP candidates for the Detroit Lions 2019. Let me hear your list in the comments below. Thank you, Pride, for watching. And before I leave, make sure you guys go subscribe to DoseOfDion Gaming if you guys like gaming content, because from now on, that's where gaming content will go. Thank you, Pride, for watching, and I'm out.